Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for checking out today's video. Today we're going to talk about the QueenWalk Electro Dragon strategy. We're going to break it down into its basics, go over base identification, I'm going to show you some replays, and we'll try to figure out exactly what works about this attack. So let's go to the first replay. Okay, so here we're looking at a big square base. Pretty typical. This is current meta. All the bases you're going to see today are current meta CWL competition bases. Now, I would not normally have thought this was a QueenWalk Electro Dragon susceptible base. However, all of the air defenses are on the outside. Now that's good and bad. It's bad in the respect that if you're coming at the town hall, which you need to do, you're going to face two air defenses on the back end no matter which direction you come from. Okay. Now you can't walk the 12 to 3 because those Inferno towers are going to pick off your healers. So you're forced to walk the 6 to 3. Okay, so we walk 6 to 3, we'll get those two air defenses and we'll cut a nice funnel. We'll cut the other funnel over here with our king from 9 to 12. Edrag's up the middle to take down that Inferno tower in the first Inferno tower compartment. Did I say Inferno tower? Town hall and Inferno tower. Alright, just so we're clear. Let's watch how that goes. So the first thing I do is I place the queen here. Placing her here means I don't need to cut a funnel with a baby dragon or anything like that. The comp you're going to see is going to be 6 drag, 6 balloons, most of these raids or all of these raids. King at the top for the funnel, stone slammer, and balloons to soak up SAMs, dragons to follow. I freeze the sweeper now. Should have froze the sweeper and the eagle. Is poor execution, but it's okay. And I'm going to keep that eagle and sweeper frozen until I get to the point where I don't, where it's not targeting me anymore. There we go. I'm saving the last 2 free spells for the back end air defenses. So what I'm usually trying to freeze with the air defenses, first and foremost the sweeper and the eagle, because everybody's sweeper is facing the town hall. I'm also trying to freeze the air defenses and expos and queen. So wherever I can get the most value per freeze, that's what I'm going to be freezing. But again, order of importance is if the sweeper is facing you and you're going into a sweeper, you need to keep that frozen. Also keep the eagle frozen if you can. Usually it seems like a lot of these bases have the sweeper and eagle together. Okay, so that is the big square base. Let's take a look at another base and talk about some more basics. Okay, so here we have another current meta base. And if you look, all of the air defenses again are on the outside of the base. This is very popular in the high-end War League bases. Now, again with this this side here from 12 to 3, you have an Inferno tower that will snipe your healers. So it's no-go on that side. But this backside over here, again, we will be able to walk that. So from 9 to 6 will be our QueenWalk, and that'll cut the funnel because the Infernos will not pick our healers. So king will come up here, take down the 12 to 3, dragons up the middle, and I'm going to send the stone slammer to get the Inferno tower. And what that does is it's going to cut an even smaller path here for the Electro Dragons to chain. Alright, let's see how that goes down. Again, I place the queen in such a way that I don't need to cut a funnel. She cuts her own funnel. We call that a natural funnel. King does the same up top. Here goes the stone slammer for the Inferno. Dragons in for the town hall and that air defense. There it goes. Now the clan castle comes out and pesters my stone slammer, but I did get the objective I wanted. I'm a little sloppy with the freezes here, but the dragons do move in pretty well. Freezing the eagle. My main pack of dragons moved up and took out that air defense at the 3 o'clock. Used the warden here because the eagle had targeted that pack of dragons. You're going to notice something. You need your queen to stay up because the dragons typically are only going to be able to push through, clearing out the middle of the base. Maybe 1 or 2 makes it to the back end, but they're very low health. So you need your queen on the back end to sweep up all that trash. Okay. So here she is, cleaning up all the garbage. And there we go. So what I learned in this one was that you need to take down all of the wizard towers. No, not the wizard towers. You need to take down all of the inferno towers and all of the expos. That way your queen on the back end only has to deal with the point defenses around the base. If that's all she's facing and you have the queen and the healers up, you will take the base down no problem every time. Okay, moving on to the next base. Okay, so this base. Basically the idea was drop my queen here on the lab and walk to the right. It immediately goes to crap and she goes to the left, so I have to drop the king to cut the funnel up this direction to keep her from coming up here and having my healers sniped by those inferno towers so that she stays going left, or going right. The bonus of that, or benefit of that, is she gets this air defense and this air defense when I didn't plan on it. But then she walks up to the north side of 12 o'clock. Dragons are going to come in straight for this inferno. Now, one thing I learned about the spell placement, timing and placement is always important. And when you're planning these raids, what I do is I plan for a rage at this inferno compartment and a rage at this inferno compartment and a rage at the eagle. All the rest of my spells I'm going to dedicate to freezes to stop the sweeper, the eagle, and air defenses, and the queen from picking off my dragons. Okay, so let's see what that looks like from here. Queen down, healers down. Everything's looking good, and then I realize, oh man, she's going to go left. So, had to panic drop the king. Luckily, I didn't have to use his ability because she ends up stepping up into the defenses, and those take a little while to get through. Those cannons are pretty beefy. Almost raged her right here, but I held it, and it worked out pretty good. Only 1 point defense really shooting her. Okay, she's going to move up and around. Now, the dragons only need about 1:10 to 1:15 to clear out the middle of the base. So when you're creating your funnel with your heroes like this, you don't have to be in a hurry. Let that funnel really develop. No rush, especially when you're learning. I'm still learning on this, so there's really no rush. Just want to make sure we get the key objectives down pat. Now we dropped the balloons, the dragons, the warden, and the stone slammer. Here we go, straight into the base. I went right into where there's a lot of chain value. A little late on that freeze, so I ate another volley. Freeze up again. 2 dragons go for the town hall, so I know I'm good over there. I went ahead and froze that inferno compartment. I froze the eagle again. I raged the inferno compartment. Make sure that air defense goes down. I freeze the expo and the eagle. Dragons are doing all their work. I'm holding the warden ability. I really want to hold it for that back end because there's that one pesky air defense back there picking on my dragons. And here you can see I still have my queen going full strength. All I need those dragons to do is take the expo and the inferno tower, and I know I'm GG. So I have a lot of dragons there. They're very low health. They're eating a lot of traps, but they do go ahead and pull off clearing out a ton of the base. You see the chain that those 2 dragons got? And now it's just the queen and her dragons cleaning up a base. It really is that simple. And this is the basic version. I will do an advanced tutorial on this attack, but it'll be queen charge instead of queen walk. Okay, so that's going to do it for the replays. Let's go ahead and take this to war and see if we can't take what we learned and apply that to a war attack. Okay, so here we are. We're in war. This is just the replay. I didn't get to record it live. I had to do this on the side of the road coming home from work. But what I'd noticed in the space, or what I recognized, is, again, the air defenses all around the outside. Now, there are 3 air defenses on the backside, which wasn't ideal, but the negative space, or the dead space, down the middle of the base, cutting it in half, I noticed I could cut, either have my dragons go up this side or up this side. So, looking at the base a little closer, I don't like the pathing between these buildings here for my dragons. There's no chain value there. So I'll queen walk that side. Now you're thinking, well, how are you going to queen walk through that inferno? It's going to pick all your healers. I'm going to drop the stone slammer there to take down that inferno. And then I'll put my king on the camp here to clear up some of this. And I'll drop 2 drags on each one of these buildings with 2 balloons in advance. and I got really good chain value all the way up through this entire compartment on this side. Or not even compartment, just that whole side of the base. So let's see how that goes down. Let's see if what we learned in Friendly Challenge translates to War. So again, I placed the queen in a position where she cuts her own natural funnel. There we go. Forgot to turn off the notifications. Sorry about that. Okay. Now I'm going to drop my stone slammer right about now. Here we go. There they go. King over here to cut the other funnel. I put the rage down right away because I need to take that air defense down ASAP. So the dragons are going through. I'm going to hit ×2. Stone Slammer took down the Inferno. I filled it with loons. The baby dragon's going to pick all my loons. I had to ward an ability over the Giga. I went ahead and froze the Eagle. Now that Eagle has a single target in there, so I rage over there. Because there's chain value in that whole compartment, I should be able to chain that single target Inferno through the Eagle. I also froze the Queen and raged over her, and now I have all these dragons on the back end. It's looking really good. They should chain that air defense. You really want at least 2 dragons in each pack, and if they're raged, they'll one-shot everything. I think 3 rage dragons one-shots Infernos, but 2 rage dragons one-shots everything else. Other than like the Eagle and Town Hall, you know. So now if you look at this base, I'm going to hit ×4. There's nothing left on the back end. The queen is free to roam through the base over a minute of cleanup, but she can handle it no problem. So let's talk about the things we learned. Base identification. Look for where those air defenses are at. Look for good pathing of the chain ability. Number 2, make sure that your dragons going through the base can take down, put your rages in places where you know they can take down the Infernos, the Eagle, the Town Hall, and the Expos. So all you're leaving yourself are point defenses around the outside of the base. And then, let's see, was there anything else? Oh yes, also with the rages. Where you identify where you want rages, only cook that many. Bringing extra rages is no help, but bring a lot of freezes. Okay. That's going to do it for the basic tutorial of QueenWalk Electro Dragons. I might do a masterclass on Queen Charge Electro Dragons. I'm just not sure if anybody really wants to see this kind of stuff. So, okay, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys like it, and I will see you in the next one.